The thing that the Bollywood star system does better than most others is sell us a sermon and call it a revolution. Three Idiots is that special kind of film that will insist on trying to change our lives with the subtlety of a jackhammer to the skull. And at the center of it all is Rancho, the smiling face of that change, played by India's most well-behaved rebel, Aamir Khan. The thing about Rancho is that maybe the movie loves him a little too much. It never doubts him, never really interrogates him. Played with a self-satisfied charm by Aamir Khan, Rancho floats through the film almost as a messiah of learning for learning's sake, a mythic figure who never sweats, who never struggles, who never fails. And that's precisely the problem. He's all philosophy and no consequences. We're told in the film that Rancho hates rote learning, he mocks grades, and constantly derides the pursuit of marks. And yet, as if through some divine irony, he always comes first in the exams. Always comes first in the exams. Rancho doesn't just reject the system, he conquers it with a grin and then smugly tells everyone else that they shouldn't even try. Meanwhile, his poor roommates, Raju and Farhan, played by Sharman Joshi and R. Madhavan respectively, who do have actual stakes in the system, are just collateral damage in Rancho's crusade. Farhan's father is a stern, conservative, middle-class man who believes that a good education will lead to a good job and is the only way out. And Raju's family is practically falling apart. These are characters who don't have the luxury of rejecting the rat race. And Rancho infects them with his messianic gospel. Abandon fear, chase your passions, trust the universe. All very nice things to say, I'm sure, but when you're already a genius with no name, no economic baggage, and a seat at the top of the class. In the novel 5 Point Someone by Chetan Bhagat that this film adapts and polishes virtually beyond recognition, Rancho's counterpart, Ryan, actually lives the philosophy that he is preaching. And you want to know what happens? He flunks, he fails, he loses. He stands beside his roommates not just in spirit, but in consequences. In the film, Rancho's ideology is pure snake oil, sold by a man who has all of the answers. He talks about process, but only ever delivers results that contradict that process. He is the TED Talk version of a revolutionary. Clean, charismatic, and completely immune to the struggle that he is pretending to fight. Take, for example, the infamous speech incident, when Raju finally moves out of the dorm with Rancho, finally showing some independent thought and calling Rancho's bluff, and dorming with Chatur Ramalingam played by Omi Vedya. How does Rancho respond? He responds by rigging Chatur's speech and replacing certain words with obscene ones, effectively humiliating him in front of the entire student body, the faculty, and the donors. It is a moment that plays like a comedy, but it hides something much, much darker. Because is Chatur a tryhard? Sure. Is Chatur a yes man? Absolutely. But he does not warrant this level of cruelty. He has never insulted Rancho. He has never tried to sabotage anyone outside of maybe sliding some harmless nudie mags under his batchmates' doors. He has studied and he has mugged like he was supposed to. And what does Rancho do? He publicly destroys him for this. And you want to know what the worst part is? This wasn't for justice. This wasn't for principle. It was for spectacle, a petty moment of glee. And the film, the filmmakers, and the audience cheer Rancho on for doing this. And then there is Rancho's test of his love interest Pia, played by Kareena Kapoor Khan, and her fiancé Suhas, played by Olivier Lefont, in another spectacularly manipulative stunt masked as righteousness. In a scene with ludicrous moral posturing, Rancho hides an expensive watch that Pia has received from her fiancé and then pretends that it has gone lost to Suhas. Her fiancé reacts the way any reasonable person would to find out that a luxury item that they have just bought has gone missing before they have even paid the bill. But the film, loyal as ever to Rancho's vision, paints Suhas as the greedy and shallow one. Rancho is rewarded again, not just with the moral superiority, but with Pia herself. Because humiliation and sabotage are just tools in Rancho's self-help kit. And what about Raju? Rancho's antics don't just humiliate his rivals, they ruin his friends. When Rancho breaks into the headmaster's home in the dead of night to profess his love for Pia, Raju is caught in the fallout and expelled. And the weight of this injustice causes Raju to jump out a window and commit suicide. And what does the film do? The film doesn't hold Rancho accountable. And no one in the film, not even Farhan, gets a moment to really question whether this hero of ours isn't just a little bit toxic. No, the film rewards Rancho again. Raju survives, thankfully, and when he wakes up, the first thing he does is smile, as if Rancho's chaos is part of some divine plan. Rancho is vindicated yet again, and his acolytes, Farhan and Raju, only buy deeper into his vision. It's almost as if the film is too afraid to admit that its hero might just be its biggest villain. This is Rancho's real superpower. He ruins lives with a smile, and the universe always rushes in to clean up after him. The film performs the most elaborate of mental gymnastics to keep proving Rancho right. A classmate is humiliated and nearly expelled? Cheap laugh. A suicide attempt? A teachable moment. A broken engagement? Necessary collateral. Rancho keeps tossing grenades into people's lives, and the resultant explosions always seem to be someone else's problem, which magically tends to sort itself out. His hands always remain clean. The real tragedy of Three Idiots is not that it props up the wrong hero, but that it vilifies the wrong people. The strict headmaster, Veeru Sahasrabuddhe, played by Boman Irani, is very harsh to a fault, yes, but he is motivated by discipline and achievement. He is hardly a monster. He is just a man who believes in structure. And Chatur, the film's comic punching bag, is annoying, yes, but harmless. He plays by the rules for the most part, he minds his business for the most part, and studies hard like he is supposed to. Yet we, the audience, are somehow supposed to believe that these two guys are the film's villains, while Rancho, who wrecks everything in his path in the name of enlightenment, is canonized. In the end, Three Idiots is not a film about changing the system. It is about watching one man dominate it while pretending that he didn't. It is the story of a genius who ruins people's lives and is thanked for the destruction. The film isn't a celebration of learning either. It is a cautionary tale. But no one in the film, no one who worked on the film, and far too few people in the audience seem to notice this. The film wants you to laugh, to cry, to cheer, and most importantly, to believe. But what it really deserves is a long, hard look at the fraud that it has crowned king. Thanks for watching.